see. All right, there we go. Ready. Got it. All right. All right. And we are live. Thank y'all for being patient. Y'all know from time to time there are some technical issues that we be trying to work out, and that happens when you're using technology. But we are here every Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. We bring y'all Northwest Austin Council. There's various ways you can interact with the show. We got Facebook, YouTube, and the Zoom. So it's really up to you where you would like to watch us at and interact with the show. And of course, make sure y'all sharing the show. You know, y'all don't have to make this like, you know, a meeting, because this ain't a meeting. This is interactive activity between community folks where, you know, a couple guys from the community. We just want to have a conversation about what's going on, because it needs to be had sometimes. And a whole lot of folks ain't really having a conversation that needs to be had. So please, if you know folks that ain't doing nothing around this hour, you know, they probably cooking, cleaning up, getting ready for school, which will be starting in a couple weeks, getting ready for work tomorrow. As long as they ain't got to be there at 6 in the morning, they could be on the show watching us, you know what I mean? Because I'm sure they got some good input, and everything is healthy when it's all about community. Man, so I don't know about y'all, but it's been a very eventful weekend for me. Popped out a couple times to like 6 block club events, I think, yesterday. Me and Mooney, man, including Bill. I didn't recognize or know that Bill was doing something with the youth after hours. So Monday through Thursday, from 6 to 9, the youth that are between, I think they said 11 and 16, could be off on those. I could be off on that. 11 and 18 are there from 6 to 9 p.m. And then on a weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, from 9 to midnight, the older kids are there. They have to use the ID to get in, though. That's pretty cool. They do. And we stopped there yesterday as well, as we were going around doing a block club. Munoz. Oh, Munoz. Yeah. Oh, that's my partner. That's my partner, Mooney. Oh, yeah, that's my partner. Yeah. We was out there. Oh, man, we was out there rolling yesterday, man. Everybody was received really well, you know what I mean? Everybody thought I was an officer too. You know, I was like, nah, I'm just an elected official. You know, here to let y'all know that your district councilman, you know, cares about the community. It was dope, man. I had a good time, man. All that delicate, she ain't want to slide though. But you know, that's how it be. Some people get elected to be with the people. Some people get elected and just, you know, drop off the face of the earth. You know, I ain't calling her out, but I am. You know, But if y'all want to stop at her block club next week, 8 to 8, she doing something around 5400 block of Thomas. She gonna be doing the 5400 block of Haddon, and then the next week after she gonna be doing the 1200 block of Menard over here. Or yeah, the 1200 block of Menard. So she just out here helping everybody with their block club. So if y'all don't have anything to do in the next couple Saturdays. Oh, and her daughter's going to Africa as well, so we're doing a little send-off. I think that is going to be on the 12th. You know, maybe whenever she finds the time to have a conversation with us, she'll tell y'all more about that. Anyway, I had a good time, man. Finally got my car back. They stole my car in April. I fixed it about 3 weeks later, and then the engine went out on it. So Kia has had my car since the second week of May. Finally got it back. Now I'm about to clean that boy up, try to fix the little parts that were messed up during this whole encounter. Of course, Kia has the class action lawsuit. So any money that I put in with receipt, they will pay me back. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll see how that goes. I was able to get a brand new engine dropped in it, but I did have a $100,000 warranty. It took forever. And now I'm just over Kia in general. So hopefully everything works out where, you know, they're going to give me exactly what's owed to me, and I can go and get out this deal with Kia. And I probably won't ever drive another Kia until I get a EV version in 2026 or something like that. They make some pretty looking cars, but they ain't good for nothing, y'all.
That's why the kids grab them. They look pretty.
Man.
Grand Theft Auto style.
Yeah. But other than that, you know, like I said, eventful weekend, and yeah, there's that. Oh yeah, my child evaluated on Friday. You know, so she'll be starting ABA therapy really soon. We picked a really good school, so we're looking forward to her continued development. She's developed really well with the therapies we had her in, so this is just another step. And of course, she'll be going to school with everybody else on the 21st. So when y'all see me out there getting some book bags, man, you just know my daughter's going to school, so it ain't for me. Even though I'll be starting back school on the 28th, you know, finishing up my dissertation. So, you know, busy.
Back in the South.
Yes,
First got his hand up. First Brunel.
Hello, everyone. Happy
Hey,
Sunday. I was trying to ask DeAndre before he went on. He was talking about a block club, and then he said she was sending her daughter to Africa. First off, pardon my lateness, but I wanted to hear what you were saying about the block clubs, and I know you mentioned 2 blocks.
Oh no, no. So before that, I was saying that Angelica is leading 3 different block club parties these next 3 weekends. So next weekend is the 5400 block of Thomas. The week after that is the 5400 block of Haddon, and then the week after that, 1200 block of Menard. And then if it was before that, I was just saying, you know, me and Mooney, as you saw from the picture, we was driving around yesterday. We went to, I think, maybe 5 block clubs, and we went to Build, which would have made 6 different activities that we did. Like Louis legit, I spent the whole shift with him. Man, they need to go and pay me, for real. We was really out there.
Partner.
Man, we was really out there. The time just flew by. It got dark. It's 9 o'clock. My lady called me like, "Where you at?" I'm blaming it on Mooney. He's dealing with this guy. He's dragging me to all the different. You know what I mean? But we had a good time. Oh yeah, then we did the Know Your Rights thing before that. And you know what? Now I was talking to Steve about this, and so maybe we'll figure out the exact date and everything. So yesterday we actually did a Know Your Rights seminar. So the district council, the community engagement arm of different district councils, and I'm gonna forget somebody, but I'll try to name them. But it was 10, 11, 12, 14, 17, 15. I forgot myself. And 25. And the last one was 25. And we all came together to, we're doing a series of seminars. So this is something that's going to be ongoing. But yesterday we did Know Your Rights. Is there a such thing as driving while black or brown? And what we had was individuals from the ACLU and LCLC, which is Lawndale Christian Legal Center. ACLU is the American Civil Liberties Union, Illinois, and both of those groups are interested in these traffic stops. So what they're saying is these traffic stops are essentially the new stop and frisk, and they actually show data that suggests that when they started putting their grips on CPD to stop and frisk, at the same time those were lowered, then these traffic stops went through the roof. And one of the surprising statistics that I've learned was that 99.5% of the traffic stops usually uncover nothing, and the person that was involved get doesn't get a ticket. And of course, most of these stops are black people. Yes, brown people are included, but the majority are black. And most of the time you just felt like you were just intimidated and, powerless and frustrated because why did you stop me in the first place if you weren't going to even do anything, give me a ticket, and then we learned some statistics. Then we started to learn about the lawsuit that ACLU has put out against the city, if you will, on behalf of those that have been offended. And then we learned some tips from LCLC, Lawndale Christian Legal Center, as it relates to what you can do. And so we want to make sure that we move those around to different districts. So my hope is that we could utilize Northwest Austin Council in the first week of November, considering that it's right on the line of 15 and 25, which is dope. That way we can serve essentially both of those districts and keep people informed. So it was a pretty dope event. The turnout wasn't that great, but sometimes when you just starting these things out, it's sometimes about us learning so that we can pass the information off to y'all and then get y'all excited about trying to be a part of the next one. And do I have any information? I do. I brought some in paper form with me, which, it's in my pants pocket. I'm trying to think where I put it in. It's in my pants pocket. And then I also was taking screenshots and actually was posting on my Facebook page for the different slides. But I'll also reconnect with the individuals that was leading it and try to get those slides too if that's necessary. So yeah, it was like I say, man, very eventful yesterday. I was literally out at 9 o'clock, 9:30, because I went to the gym and then I just was moving the whole day and I didn't get back in to 9:30, which is why I was bitched at, because she was like, you've been gone for 10 hours already.
Hard being a policeman.
Man, I tried to tell her.
Back up for the backup.
I was trying to tell her, man, we was at all the people, little parties, eating tacos and ribs. We went to the last spot, 5500 Van Buren, man. They had to let Chicharrones. Oh, man. I had me a little Pacifico. I was with the guys, man, the Guerreros. What do you tell me? What do you tell me? The Caballeros. Yeah. Mooney was trying to teach you Spanish. He said, man, tell the Caballeros, buenos tardes. Buenos noches. 5500. Yeah, man, everywhere we went, it was a nice little clash of Black and Hispanic, except we went to the 5,000 block of Erie. That's where I saw the 40 and up jump ropers that was at. For y'all that don't know, Angelica just joined that group too. She's one of the 40 and older jump ropers. So, we all see her, ask her to bust out her double Dutch rope and show y'all some skills. Yeah.
So that's off of Cicero?
Yeah, that was 5,000 block of Erie.
So,
yeah.
Like you said, an eventful day.
Oh, very eventful.
But did you know, they had the green team tour. Yeah,
green team.
That was
great too.
Yeah.
Ms. Burton?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, I've asked this question before and didn't get an answer. Since Angelica is a member now, she may be able to answer it. Do they do jump ropes for young girls? Or do you know who does?
Wait, I don't even know if she's left. She left. Oh, I'll text her on the side.
So what was the question again?
Jump groups for young girls.
Do they do jump ropes for young girls, or do they know who does?
Okay.
You know what? While we on the show, I'm gonna text the block club leader over there and ask her as well as Angelica to see. But yeah, man. But that's all I was doing. What about you, Steve? I know you said a green thing.
Yeah, the green team had their event yesterday. I was gonna try to make. I didn't make it. Actually, I've been kind of down the whole week. Not many. I didn't make any events this week. To be honest with you, there were quite a few going on earlier this week also. But spoke to a few people about a lot of things going on. But what I'm finding more and more, man, everybody's asking me the questions, where is Waldo? And Waldo being Brandon Johnson.
Yeah.
You know, he's only been in there, what, a couple months, right? I'm like, you gotta give him at least 6 months. You can give him a chance to even step in the water. You know?
Yeah.
But it's just unbelievable that that's the call. That's the question. Gee, does he know what does he know what he's doing? Gee, why does he look like that? Look, it's all new to him. It would be new to anybody. So, you know, I think you gotta give him at least a little bit of a reprieve to get in there and do some things. At least try, and then you can see, you know, 6 months, what has he done? Where is he at? Where is he going in 6 months? Then you go from there. But first couple months, I don't think it's too fair to say he's just not who you think he's supposed to be. I know one thing I noticed. Ashley, what's Ashley's last name? His assistant, she's still hanging in there with him.
Yeah.
I don't,
she is.
I don't see Maurice anymore.
Maurice
Maurice is the guy that's hanging around with him.
Audrey's there too, I believe. His legislative aide when he was commissioner. Audrey.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're hanging tight with him. So.
But Steve, have you heard anything from FEMA?
No, well, I haven't heard anything from anybody in that vein this week. Been waiting to hear from the congressman. I think he's back. I know he's back. There was a meeting Friday he had. I didn't have a chance to talk with him, but hopefully he'll come on the show today and give us some enlightenment on what's going on there. The last thing I heard was that the ball was pitched back over the fence to the governor, and the governor had to supply some data. And that was it. As far as anything else moving, no. And it goes back to, again, you know, we got to push what we have because we all we got. You know? We have to depend on ourselves. And it's a hard thing, you know. I really look at many years working in community, working with people, and one thing that never changes is people. People just want what they want. A lot of them ain't willing to do nothing to get it. They just want it, you know? And that ain't never really ever changed. Human nature is human nature. But it's just a sad thing to say that we're coming to a point in our lives and in our future where we can't really depend on anybody else.
Detected at your front door outside.
The only thing we have to depend on is ourselves. I mean, there's been a big breakdown of people relying on their neighbors and relying on their community, you know, the last 20, 30 years or so. But we got to get that back somehow. And what's the point of living in a great metropolis and amongst many people when we can't even count on 100 people? You need it. In most cases, you need to move the dial, move the needle. You need about 50 people, don't you? You get a crowd of 50 people, you're gonna make something move. You get a crowd of 100, that's it. You know, you're in the right direction, but you know, I get it. It's not always about mobilization now, because many of us, or many of the people that are in need, or that are wanting to see things changed and move, they're up in age. We can't expect them to jump up and be out there like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not the case. But we do need to know where's the backup, you know, because you can't be 50 years old talking about, well, mama always took care of it, daddy always took care of it. You can't, you know, and if you are in that situation, you're really looking at your destiny. It's gonna hit you flat in the face. You know, there ain't gonna be nothing nice. And you'll be one of the statistics. And right now, the statistics aimed towards you either homeless, you have a you're in a mentally unstable situation, or what's third? A victim of
what, some sort of other addiction?
addiction, right? And it's like, man, you get the three of those together, it's hard to get back on track. It's hard for anybody to get on track. I mean, you could do it, but you've been 50 years doing it, been in that situation, and never made anything change, and it could be a hard situation. So what do we do? You know, it's a big question. You know, I ponder and think about it every day. You know, what can we do to change the situation going forward? Even just a little bit. Just a little bit. Anybody
Yes, Steve. Steve, what happened with the petitions?
It's still going. How many?
Yeah,
We still collecting, you know. I just think the thing is, you really got to have, you know what we didn't do? We didn't designate like 20 people, 25 people to go out and do petitions. We should have just said, okay, we got to get a group from this in, a group from that in, a group from wherever, you know, and you take your five, you take your five, you take your five, you know, five groups of five. Or a group of five, five groups of five. And then take them out and just go to the stores and hit the areas and say, this is what the petition is for. The blocks, you know, that's one thing. We already know we get those and collect those. But what about, you know, there's so many blocks that are not together. They don't have anybody that can go door to door. You know, they're still afraid to know their neighbors. They're still afraid to go out on their block. So, and there's a lot of those. There's more of those than the ones that are organized. So that's where it's really at. Having a group of people that could just go and door knock or meet, go to the mall. What is it? Walmart, this one north. Where else was big group of people west side? The corner Coffin and North Avenue. That's a busy intersection.
Yeah, it is.
Grand Coffee in North.
Well, is there a time limit? Is there a time limit?
There's no time limit because it's all about the numbers. We want to create the numbers so we could go and drop it on these elected officials, you know, per se, someone from the county, someone from the city, someone from the state, and be like, look, here you go. You know, this is our issue. Look how long it's taken. Look at where we're at.
Yeah, so we got 113.
On there. That's on the.
Yeah, for this one, yeah, just for the online.
And the reason the online is not going because most people that were told to do it, they did it, but they didn't tell anybody else. And then the only way we could get it produced out there more, we got to send it out in some kind of blast.
Yeah, but again, you know, most people that were majorly affected were some of the seniors, and you know, the real method of communication for them is generally paper, and we do have paper as well, so we don't know how many of those in terms of paper that we've gotten, but for the online petition at least is 113.
So I want to say,
but to your point though, you got to do what we've been doing. I see Ms. Jacobs on the line, which, you know, we went over her block. We did a convening. We as we went door to door, we asked people, are you willing to join the block club? Ms. Jacobs got a list of names of, I feel like at least 75%. Whomever was at home said yes. It wasn't all the houses, but at least 75% said yes, I'm willing to join the block club. And they were looking forward to us coming back to continue to do some work. So to that end, got with Ms. Jacobs, I bet we're gonna do this thing at the end of August, you know, and we're gonna come with a different group of folks in addition to trying to answer the questions that folks had while they was there. Some people approached me out there, hey, I got raccoons in my gutters or da-da-da. Do you know anybody that could help with that? And I said, I bet I'm gonna look. So to that point, found the contractor. I'm trying to bring that brother or a sister there. so they can talk about that. They said they wanted a stop sign. So I actually just reached out to the alderman's office. I gotta send an email. I hate doing it that way, but gotta send an email and try to figure out if we can get somebody from the alderman's office to come out and discuss what it, the procedure for stop signs and all of that, so folks can know that this is how you have to get it if you want a stop sign. But all of that stuff adds into it. So it's in order to really do this thing, and then and it takes everybody too. So even if you're an old person, yeah, we get that you can't walk up and down the street, but you use a person like myself, I'm willing to walk up and down the street. But you, as a senior citizen, you got to utilize your voice to be able to get get the resources that other folks, because they'll listen. They listen. And they'll come out. And same thing like we're doing a week before we do Miss Jacobs, we're doing on the 15th. We're going back over at Nobel Neighbors and doing the same thing. We do the exact same thing. We brought speakers out, had them come together, let them know, this is something to inform the community. Time and time again, I love what y'all do. Keep doing that. I had a couple people came and said that, and so they're looking forward to the next time. Now with them, same thing. We're gonna tell them, all right, we want to reestablish the block club that used to exist. If you all will be willing to work with it, bring out some speakers to that point. We're gonna bring out some folks that do the peace circles. We're gonna bring out a couple of the community groups. We're gonna bring out the anti-violence groups. Hopefully, again, we can bring somebody from the alderman's office, talk about what it means to set up a block club. Maybe we can get my hood, my block, my city, the ones that actually do the post and let you know what block you want. All of these things just fits into trying to figure out how do we develop relationships between people.
Right.
That's really what it is.
Well, let me ask you this.
DeAndre, I'm sorry, Steve.
Go ahead.
DeAndre, while you bringing out all these groups, please do not forget the grassroots organizations, please.
Oh yeah, so the one is West Humboldt. We're bringing out West Humboldt Community Coalition. That's a smaller grassroots organization. But you're right though. Speaking of since you had mentioned that, we got with the 15th District Council, we have the grassroots spotlight now. Not the grassroots, but the organizational spotlight where we're highlighting grassroots organizations. So with the next one, we actually highlight Miss Jacobs, but the following one, that'll be September. I would like to highlight you. Yeah, that's something that I'm doing. So I'll make sure that I actually, with Miss Jacobs, I'll bring out Shrone Conaway. And yeah. So yeah, I could definitely do that. That's not a problem at all, for sure.
And I think it's also really important, DeAndre, the people who have been coming to the table for these meetings and for the district council meetings, that those people are considered first. Like Ms. Jacobs is always here. And I know there was another meeting where they brought out all the anti-violence people who's never at a damn meeting. That's not fair.
Yeah. That's I mean, like I say, that's definitely things that we have to consider and make sure we get right. So, but yeah, we'll make sure that we have enough grassroots organizations there too. I'm with you. We don't need to always highlight the big guys, but they got to be in the mix as well, though. We got to make sure that they actually doing a job that they get paid for. So, got to do that.
Yeah, and they can move to the back of the line.
Well, the question I would propose is, out of, let's just say 100 seniors, is it hard to get 10 up and coming younger people that are committed to where they live? No,
it's not. I mean, Chantel is excited about hosting a block club party on her block. Super excited. In fact, she's so excited. I've never seen anybody excited to be the block club president. So yeah, no, it's not hard. All you gotta do is be willing to,
Reach out to them.
first of all, when these young people move to these blocks, you gotta, like, as an elder, senior, or block club president, whatever it is, you gotta go over there and make sure, you let them know, what type of block it is and all of that. But, let them know, like, I would like for you to help me, because sometimes it's what it is. You move over, you ask for the help, but in actuality, you actually training them to take over. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't too many young folks gonna turn down helping an older person if the ask is made. It ain't a whole lot now. Like a lot of us millennials especially, we were raised, where we still respected our elders the right way.
It wouldn't be uncommon to find 3 people or 2 people on the block.
It depends on, but see, these blocks are still old though. It's not a whole lot of young people that are on their homes though. Still not, but I'm just saying.
What about those that maybe some that still live on the block with their parents?
Yeah, but
A
nah,
renter probably won't do it.
nope.
They gotta have something that's safe.
I think you gotta be a homeowner.
Yeah.
It's different when you're a homeowner.
Right.
If you transit, even if you the daughter or son of the homeowner, sometimes it don't even.
Right.
Yeah, it has to be a young homeowner.
You gotta have it.
You gotta be part of. Yeah.
What you got on.
Facts, because I'm not saying that I can't speak for her, but I wouldn't believe that Chantel would be so excited to be the block club president. She was just a wrecker.
Right.
Like, I'm just saying, I ain't saying.
No, she told me that, she wasn't, thoroughly enthused about.
I missed something. Are you saying that in order for you to be a block club leader, you have to be a homeowner?
No, you don't have to be, obviously, but I think it gives you more stake in the game. I think you will be more willing to take on that responsibility, because being a block club leader or a president or whatever is a facilitator is another responsibility that a lot of people don't want to take on because it's work.
Right.
And it's like, I feel like when you got more stake in the game, so if you got kids that live there, or, I would say kids, that's probably a part of it, but, if you're just a person that wants to see your community in a better position, or even if you just want to see your property value rise, you're gonna be like,
well, I think that's kind of cutting off your nose to spite your face, because there's not too many young homeowners in the Austin area, period, or anywhere, unless it's in the other communities that are not Black, because most of the homeowners are their parents, their grandparents, or elder uncle. There's not really any young homeowners in our community. So what are you telling us then if we don't have a young homeowner? So what's the alternative? What's there left?
No.
So you gotta go. There's people who rent apartments and have been in the apartments for a long time, 10 to 15 years. But they're not young people.
But that was the question that I asked Deandra. I said, out of 100 seniors, do you think it's impossible to find 10 motivated people, younger people that want to be committed to their community? And
right.
He said, what's that? That was the question. Can we find 10? Because if you can find 10, that's a good start. We just have to. They may be scattered, but we got to bring them together. To work with each other.
If you can find them, yeah.
Well, I mean,
go away.
You just said Chantel, right? You. Angelica, yeah. Who else? That's 3. Who else we got?
The young lady who I went over yesterday, Nikita Bailey. Okay. At 55,000 West Erie.
Okay.
Nikita Bailey.
I met a few of them that were South End. What's the lady girl? Vicky. she seemed like she was pretty enthused. She seemed to be under 45.
But are they homeowners?
I think she might have been. Yeah.
Because I know Angelica isn't. She's not a homeowner.
Oh, well, I mean, I know, what is it? It's her uncle and her mother.
Her mother. Her mother's a homeowner.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I feel that. But you know what? I will say there are exceptions to the rule.
Right.
Not all the time do you have to be a home, because and then you just gotta love people sometimes. Sometimes you gotta love people.
I think Angelica is kind of like a lead person in her household.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Yeah,
so mom,
right.
You know,
Right.
authority to
Between
do
her,
it.
yeah,
Right.
between her, because between her taking care of her kids and her sisters, her uncle, yeah, she's absolutely a leader.
Yeah, what's her name too? Tanya Peterson.
Yeah.
She's got 3 years in the game now with her property on Austin. So yeah, you're probably right. There are a good, 10% that we should be able to dig and be able to pull together, because they gotta need each other. If you can't get a block of, and then you gotta think about it. Even when I was young and got a property, there weren't a lot of young people that had them. I can only name one other person that started when I started.
Well, I'll say this. If y'all want more young people on y'all block, all y'all gotta do is, when these older elders get ready to start selling, call the young people up. And look, I'm telling you, they'll be indebted to you, especially if they can get a house at a good price.
Right.
And they ain't gotta go searching for it. They go, hell yeah, what you want me to do? Run the block? Yeah,
Right.
it's a difficult time to find this stuff. So you want young people? Yeah. Go out, let them know that this is available, and I'm letting you know before this thing hits the market. And here go the number. It's a better number than it's gonna get if you get it, and I guarantee they be indebted. That's how you do it. You'll find a nice little crop of young folks that's willing to be a part of the community.
Yeah, that's true. And don't get it too twisted, because it's happening all over.
Yeah.
I mean, just what on my block, it's about 5 empty houses.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's crazy. And those homes were lost by white people.
Mm-hmm.
I know for sure 2 of them were lost because they weren't paying their taxes and whatever. And they had been there for, who knows, 40-some years, 45 years, 50 years, 45.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's happening all over. Now, in fact, when I think about it, it is based on age. It is all based on age. And guess what? The one house I'm thinking of, it was a white family owned it. When I first moved over there, I remember that the husband and wife. Mm-hmm. Then they had their daughter living there. She had 2 kids. The husband and wife passed. The daughter passed. Then her younger kids took it over, which they're probably no older than 35. Mm-hmm. And then they didn't pay the bills. They didn't pay the tax. Mm-hmm. And then they got into some dispute with the cousin or something over it. And they ended up, going through the probate and whatever else. But yeah, there are properties out here that young people can get. That's what you're probably gonna get anyway, younger people. You don't see a lot of older people.
It depends. Like I said, younger people are really increasingly not trying to be stationary. This is a time where, you got a lot just don't want to deal with the hassle of having a house. Right. A lot of them would rather have like an RV, or some other type of mobile home, where they could, move, because that life, like everything that came before us, work at one job for 50 years, live with a pension and retirement income or Social Security, all of that stuff is just unattractive. So having a house is not as attractive as it used to be. And then part of it too is just, I think, not having an understanding too of what ownership or having house ownership does for you. You know, that matters as well. But yeah, everything is changing the way the tastes are, and even younger people too are starting to gravitate towards the tiny home concept.
Right.
You know, where
Container home.
yeah, container homes. So this stuff is, you know, there's a different taste for this stuff too.
But the world is becoming smaller, and they want to see the rest of the world. They don't want to be tied to a place and a job where they can't go see the world when they want to see it. So it makes a lot of sense.
DeAndre, didn't you
Mhm.
say that the 15th district we're gonna be meeting over at that church on Polk Street this Tuesday evening?
No, that is Thursday, our meeting.
On Thursday, right?
Yep.
Because I got another complaint. I had told you last week, but this complaint is even, well, the same people across the street had their music going until 3 o'clock this morning. The man next door goes on dialysis, huh?
So on your block?
Yeah, on my block, I'm telling you. The man next door goes on dialysis. He's very sick. His wife is very sick. He called the police. Police didn't come. I called the police like about 2:57. I guess in about 15 minutes, they drove down the street and kept going, didn't stop. And they got the whole block blasting. So that's my complaint every week. So I want to make sure I make it to this meeting.
And you tried the phone tree.
Well, we don't have a phone tree. It's just me and the man that next door.
That's part of it.
Oh, and plus, I don't know if he had a heart attack or what, because I did see the paramedics and the fire truck came to his house. So I don't know what happened.
Well, I mean, think about that. You got a block of your block used to only have 17 people homes on it, and you had 17 vacant properties out of 34. Well, yeah, half the block. And reality is now that you got an additional, I don't know, you only have 4 vacancies, so you got 30 homes on the block. You would think
Now all these homes are filled over here.
right. So you got at least 30, and you got 4 empty lots or blocks, empty lots at least. So you would think 10 people would be able to come together on the block.
Well, no, but that was part of it. Remember, we went over there and
Right.
we were trying to get everybody together. So we got to figure out next steps for developing, getting our block club back.
Yeah,
So part of it will be having to get this phone tree going.
right. They need to know how to use the tools.
Right.
And know who's in the tool shop with
Right.
it. Right.
But Steve, that's all well and good when the tree gets up. But in the meanwhile, if you call the police and all they do is drive down the street, that's not good either. I understand what you're saying about the phone tree and everybody calling, but they still need to stop when somebody called them. It's not fair that they just keep going.
Right. But this is how you hold them accountable. Because if 10 people, let's say 9 people, let's say 8 people, 7 people call from that block, or they ain't even got to call from the block. All you got to do is call somebody else on the cell phone, and then they can make a call. They get enough calls in that block, that's gonna send some red flags out. Okay, who's on that beat? Who was supposed to make that call? Police tried to tell us, or not police, OMC is called now?
OEMC.
Yeah, they try to tell us that they don't take a ticket number and they don't give you a ticket number. Because if we give you a ticket number, you're giving up information. That's not. I don't even understand that. Because what's gonna hold you liable when I'm calling and I don't know that you're actually putting in the message? I need something to identify with that I called and that many others have called. This is how it used to be, where you hold them accountable, and this was fed by the commanders. make sure you get a ticket number. So when I go through my list, I want to see that. I want to see your block lit up, so I know what the heck going on, and I know who to get behind. So now, you know, last time we talked with old EMC, they said we don't give out tickets. We ain't never done that. I'm like, this lady can't be. She gotta be new. Oh, I've been there for 10 years. Well, you was 10 years and didn't know what was going on because it was the way it was. I know for sure it was done that way.
I do hear you though, Ms. Jacobs, and to what Steve was saying with OEMC, we continuously talked about this idea of service levels and when you call, depending on what's going on at the time. But I feel you. There's no reason why they should have drove by, but that's what you got district councils for. So we'll make sure that we address it, especially when you come to the meeting. We actually just got a new commander. So
We got a new commander? We got a new commander?
we have a new
Who is
commander.
that?
His name is
Don't tell me Parham got moved up.
yes, he did. Hold on
After
here.
all his saying, I'm not going nowhere, I'm not going nowhere. Now he gone, and when did they make the announcement, DeAndre?
You know what? It was made Friday, the 4th of August. Yeah, he's being replaced by Carlin Morton.
Really?
It's a damn shame we don't have no say-so in who our commander be and who get promoted, because these damn people just moving all over the place.
Sure, yeah.
I used to call it, this is the place that's giving away free money. And they would say, yeah, sign me up. Just sign me up. You're giving away free money.
Is this guy black or white or Hispanic?
You know what? I have yet to meet him. I actually didn't even get a chance to email him or anything yet. Let me check it out though. Maybe I can
That's
find.
why you guys can't, that's why we can't get nothing done. There's no stability.
That's right.
That's
Black
why
man.
nothing gets done.
Right.
And all we get is lies. All we get
Right.
is lies.
Yeah.
But
And mouth
Steve
service.
DeAndre, can you all tell me, is it true that they're gonna be putting some of the illegal people in the police in the academy?
No, oh Lord Jesus.
Well,
Well,
that's
the
what's
governor-
being said, Miss Jacobs.
The
Come on
governor
now.
a bill that allows for people that aren't how does it go? What's the word? Citizens that aren't citizens but are approved to work to become police officers. It's something that they already.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry to cut you off. What about our people that's already here? Why they can't become police officers?
Well, so it's something that they already do in the military. So I think they just carried it forward for the state.
I don't
mean, it's
get
a good-
this one.
Hey, listen, everybody that is a state representative, maybe but one or two people voted yeah for it. That's everybody.
Only
all.
one didn't vote yes. Only one didn't vote yes. But I think it's a damn shame that we are Americans. See, this is why I'm pissed off at politicians. We are Americans and we get the worst of the damn pie. We got folks sleeping under damn bridges. They don't get no doctor coming to see about them. Now these damn people coming here and they gonna get a damn job. We got people with felonies can't get no jobs because they were smoking marijuana when they were 16. Where's the damn justice in that? But we keep on re-electing these same damn people.
Yeah.
There is a lot of validity.
All black people should become independent. That's all. You become independent, let the parties fight over your vote and do what they gonna do for you.
You think that's what they're doing now? They're fighting over the vote?
No, they're not. No, they're not.
They fighting each other.
Republicans don't come to this don't come to us. They know what time it is.
Right, right.
No, they're not. No.
They're not fighting over the people for the vote. They're fighting against each other.
Yeah, they're right. They fighting against each other for whatever they believe is true, but nah. They're not fighting for our votes.
Well, this is the issue. If indeed you're taking people from other countries, and how do you know their history? How do you know what immunizations they've had? What
You don't.
What
You don't,
grade-
but then they gonna come over here and police us.
Yeah,
What-
that's
what criminal background that they've had? What any of this? Who were they associated with?
I mean, even to this point now, the migrants that are here, I've started to really engage in, I don't know if you want to call it American behavior, but these guys out here selling drugs. I don't know if y'all seen the report lately. One of them got caught selling drugs to a police officer. One of them stole somebody's bag, with their phone and everything, and went to one of the police stations. And the bag was recovered because the person that stole the bag actually gave the phone to one of the other Migos. He gave it to one of the Migos that was in there. So when the person tracked their phone, it was at the police station. Like, oh, well, there, maybe a good Samaritan turned my bag in. The person was like chilling in the park at a school or something.
Right.
The migrant took the bag, dumped his IDs and stuff out of it.
Right.
And then gave the phone that was inside to the, man.
No, I've heard from law enforcement that
It's a lot,
they
man.
said that they don't feed the people that are being housed at the police station, but they're really getting indignant about what they want to eat. They're telling people, no, it got to be the lactose intolerant, glucose free, and hey, it got to come from Whole Foods. I don't want it.
They got a food truck up here at the 15th district. He's out there. They got a food truck.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, well, the 15th district has been getting taken care of very well. You got people like Cynthia Williams. I know, I believe Waka Flocka's mom had came over and helped them out. Oh yeah. I mean, there's a big WhatsApp group full of people, and not all of them live in Austin, but they're taking care of them real well, to the point, I don't know if everybody want to come to the 15th, because I went over there the other day, I said, man, where all these people come from, man? Really? Man, a month ago or so, it was a handful, but now it's like damn near overrun.
Yeah.
What did you say, 30 people?
Oh, it's more than 30.
What?
Oh yeah, go in there for yourself. Way more than 30. Shit, it's a lot.
Wow.
Man, it's ridiculous, man.
Kids.
Oh yeah, kids.
Kids running around.
So
The
the room,
place-
the music is
The
being-
place is stale. The place is stale. It stinks.
They got stuff all in front. So most of the time you'll see them out in the front. But inside the lobby area too, they're right there as well. They're not in any rooms, no, they're right in the lobby area and right out
There
there.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. And all the police stations across the city, though, not just that one, just all of them. It's actually very ridiculous, And like I said, I'm gonna point my fingers directly at our politicians because, number one, we have in the federal government, this is being allowed at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Governor Abbott and whoever else was moving the migrants to different places saying, look, shit, we don't want this to happen. But I mean, our federal government said they do. So shit, what are we gonna do? And then now, you're moving them around to different cities and all of that. And even like I said, I'm mad because here in the city of Chicago, where we had a migrant, refugee, and immigration committee, them folks hadn't met for over a year, even while in the midst of this going on, to strategize. Now they've met, I believe, once or twice in the last month or within the last couple months, they've met once or twice to have conversations. But you know, at the end of the day, all they're doing is just trying to repurpose some of this stuff that's already, in some respects, being used for other practices. And they're putting these folks in there, man.
So are
Like,
people
man,
working or something? What they doing? They just hanging out, going down
I mean,
to Lollapalooza?
most of them are trying to find jobs. That's what they say. But right now, how it was working is they are looking for shelter, and the shelters are super cramped. And as a space becomes available for them, they get a call up. Now they're really primarily focusing on the women and the kids. And as space becomes available, then they get bused to whatever shelter is available. But until then, they're just there. But the problem with that is, let's say they leave, you know, and some of them are walking around the streets and stuff like that. If they call their number and they're not there, then they got to get back to the end of the, they got to get to the end of the line, and their process starts over. So that's why the majority of them are just hanging out in the front. They don't want to lose their spot in line, whatever that is, but they don't know how long it's gonna take for them to get that shelter either.
So were these people there in the wintertime?
I mean, they came 8 months ago,
Okay.
so yeah, they would have started there in the wintertime. I mean, come on, man. They need to go. Some of these rundown ass motels where they prostituting out of. Go ahead, man. Put their ass over there. Go put them in the Cindy Lynn and all of that, man. pay them folks $50, man. Like, man, look, man, we know what time it is. Shamrock, Cindy Lynn, and some of the Skylark folks. Come on, man. Put them over there. And then you put a hole in the walls, man.
It's just too much right now, man. It's too much to handle. I mean, people are feeling this all over. And then not to talk about the taxes, you know, property taxes, man. That's a whole nother thing that, you know, that's embarked upon or put upon the citizens, and we're going, what are we getting? What do we get? And then look, we're talking about what they call them, migrants and refugees, and what's the other word? Asylum seekers.
Asylum seekers.
And then you got the regular homeless.
Yeah.
You got the regular homeless, man. It's like Chicago is a city of homeless now. I don't even understand how in certain communities there's no room. And then you got people in New York. They're going through the same thing. I heard they're putting them out of the hotels in New York. And they're mad. They got the National Guard standing in the hotel saying that they're helping with the management of things. Because people, they said it's a powder keg in New York because they're bringing hot plates and things in the rooms.
Yeah.
They're cooking in the rooms. It's just like, you can't cook in the rooms. That's a fire hazard.
Crazy, man. And
so there's
again, everything starts from the federal government, though. So I mean, this is what we voted for, man. This is what we wanted, y'all. Why are we complaining? What's the next subject, man? We voted for this. This is what we wanted.
No, we ain't voted.
We voted for this.
We haven't voted yet.
All of us on this phone chose Joe Biden. This is what we wanted.
Yeah. But
DeAndre,
what about
don't
you?
do it. I didn't vote for that.
What about the Congress? What about the
I
Congress?
didn't. Don't do it, DeAndre. Don't do it.
I mean, we all take our cues from the federal government. Everybody is falling in line. I mean, even if we wanted to look, if we again, like I said, I'm gonna be honest. All Black people need to move to the center and become independent, so we can have. I'm saying what we want to happen. You know, let's be honest. This is, I mean, part of this agenda. Like, I mean, on a global scale, I think part of this bringing in refugees is because it does allow labor to be filled in some respects. It does allow for, especially for some of those cities like Chicago that have had people that to leave, that brings your numbers back up. If we can get these people to become naturalized, not naturalized, but to become citizens, now we open up to be able to tax them, you know, and we can create revenue. And I do think that is part of what the idea and strategy is. But again, to have it be the way that it is now. Like, where are the, fast-paced process to get them to become citizens? You know what I'm saying? It's difficult for anybody that has been living here under the conditions, especially in the Black community that we've lived under, to see all of this aid and resource going to folks that, aren't citizens. That pissed anybody off.
Well,
And
DeAndre, when they start fast tracking these people into becoming citizens or policemen or whatever, they're not being careful who they let in. They let anybody in. Now, we already got the cartel here. What's to say we're not even getting worse mobsters in here, and they come and be a policeman, or they come and become a citizen and start this mess? We got us another Mexico. We have no control. We have little control now because we're getting so many of them that we're bypassing all the security features just to say, let them in, let them do this, let them do whatever they want. And I have a problem with that. Maybe I won't be here in this land when all of it, the shit hit the fan, which is gonna do it soon. But I think they need to watch out and be very careful. Because we're going to be just like Nicaragua, Mexico, Argentina, wherever these people, Haiti, wherever these people coming from. They're bringing their problems here to us.
Well, there should be a better vetting system.
And we're paying them to bring our problems here. We're giving them the best medical and dental. We're trying to make sure they get food to eat. Now we're giving them jobs, and our people still sleeping under the bridge.
Well, there needs to be a better vetting system then. Because, we always been a country of immigrants.
Right.
But that's nothing that's really ever changed. Like the guy said last week, nobody said anything when 11 million Irish people came in the 80s. And nobody's like, well, where they at? What they doing? And how did they get? Nobody said anything. But here we are today, and the situation is like, the boogeyman's here.
They had their riots against the Irish and the whatever group, New York. They had a big old riot against the Irish because they didn't want the Irish people here back in 1932 or 20 or whatever it was. They had a big old race riot regarding that. But see,
you said 11 million came in the 80s, and that was probably because they were seeking asylum. Because remember, back in the 80s, in the 70s, there was the IRA, the Irish Revolutionary Army, that was fighting against the British, because the Protestants and the Catholics were fighting in Ireland, and the British were mostly Protestant, the Irish were mostly Catholic. So they must have given them. I just didn't realize it was that many that had come over, 11 million in 10 years. But it's going on. We are a country of immigrants. It's always been that way. The problem is how people getting vetted, how people getting transitioned into what we're doing. I don't think anybody on this call or anybody listening would say, wait a minute, there's somebody right next to me doing the same thing I'm doing, and they're getting the same thing I'm getting. If you're getting it, right? The only problem is people look to the left and the right of them and they say, well, a minute, somebody's getting more than what I'm getting, or what's the next man that should be, that should be getting something is not getting. That's what I think the biggest situation comes up. But hopefully they get this together, because it's just too much. I sit around and I try to think. I'm like, man, how do we get to this space? DeAndre said it's Joe Biden. I'm like, nah, it's Joe Biden. No, it's a lot that's been going on, and I think it all just compiled. It's really compiled. We've had we've had a rough turn of the new millennium, you know, from the 1900s to 2000. The last 20, 25 years, they've been rough. We've had 9/11, we've had markets drop, we've had people lose their whole 401k, lose their properties. What else is going on? Then we got all this, we had COVID, we had, what else? I mean, it's been a lot. It seems like every 10 years, every 8 years, something's going on.
Yeah, you know,
That didn't seem like it was going on in the 1900s, although,
1900.
right,
Oh man, they dealt with famine, depression, recession.
Jim Crow.
Yeah. Man, yeah.
It just seems like it,
This is the best time to be alive in America.
but it just seemed like it was so stressed out, didn't it? It didn't seem like it was happening every 5, 8 years, you know, the way things were happening.
No, it definitely happened the same way. That's the damn
Oh, yeah.
sure. Man, I get for those people that was living in them years between 1901 right to 1960, man, something happened to them every day.
Mhm.
For real, nah, they felt everything. You know,
What?
top of being slaves.
Two
man.
major world wars.
Man, what? Man,
Millions of people just dead, you know, because
man.
of Vietnam, Korea, what else?
Civil rights.
Right, yeah,
Everything happened back then.
right.
Man,
And it was on a massive scale too.
I mean, you know, it's just
I mean, look, we're just now making a museum and out of Emmett Till's
yeah.
not resting place, but yeah, the courthouse where he was found, and the church that had his funeral. And this has been over 60 years, 60 some odd years since that happened. Way over 60 some odd years. I think it happened in 50, 70, something like that. But nevertheless, we are embarking upon a lot, I still think, you know, as a country, as a city, as the West Side. We're feeling it. The West Side is feeling it. Let's be real about that. We are feeling the day-to-day.
I was talking to Roman today, and I told him it's the Gen X fault. I said, because there's no reason why the baby boomers supposed to still be in power right now. Gen X fault. Yeah, man. The baby boomers are fighting the millennials for control. Millennials don't know enough. We ain't been through enough. Where's Gen X at?
Gen X are the
Where's Gen
parents.
X?
Gen X are the parents of the millennials.
Right. Where y'all supposed at?
Those are the people that got out.
Them though, y'all supposed to be in power right now, because y'all would actually be a lot closer to what's happening to make decisions that make sense. The baby boomers should not still be in power. I blame Gen X.
This is the thing. The baby boomers end up living longer. That's the reality. Because, you know, life expectancy 30, 40, 50 years ago.
Hey, Steve,
Yeah.
what's going on with my Zoom? What's this safe driving mode and all this other stuff popping up?
If you're on your phone, you're gonna have to scroll to the right. You probably scrolled all the way to the left.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. 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 There you go.
Like they get you. But no, you know, people have, I don't know, Barry, what was the life expectancy for people in the 60s?
Don't worry about it. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT.
There you go. Because I'm telling you, it couldn't have been to live to be 100, to live to be 90.
You said
I
the
think
60?
I think it's going back down.
Really?
I think.
You said,
Not sure.
yeah, 60? Right. Of an adult, of a person.
What?
You know, he's checking the life expectancy of the baby boomers and the silent. We still got a lot of people from the silent era, I think they call it.
Yeah, it's the baby boomers need to, they fucking everything up, man. It's the baby boomers. Come on somewhere, man.
Just think. If the baby boomers are living to be
70 to 72.
back then,
Yeah.
and
But
that's,
developed countries is around 70 to 72 for men and slightly higher for women. So probably 75,
and
77.
most baby boomers are living way beyond that. I mean, think about that. They're living to,
That's because they got to eat the good pig feet.
nah,
Today's pig feet is bad.
I mean, it's just a reality. People living longer. Who's to say millennials and Gen Xers might live even longer? Who knows?
I hope we have enough decency to get out the way, though. That's all.
Well, that's all. I think no one's going to want to concede to what they're doing unless the people that's going to take the reins are going to do the same thing or better. That's what everybody's going to do. I mean, no one's going to be like, well, who's going to take this over and we're not sure what they're doing. They got to prove themselves. That's it. And the other thing is, it's all a waiting game. I remember when we were talking about Congress Davis, and it was like, you've been there a long time, and it's like, what's your ranking? His ranking was, wasn't as high as it is now, because he mentioned Nancy Pelosi. He said, well, Nancy Pelosi been there way longer than me. That's why she's kicking it out.
Shame.
I'm like, wow.
She should have been gone too.
But who's picking those speakers? They pick them amongst themselves, right?
Yeah, I mean, if it was me and I had a decision, I would obviously pick the most seasoned person too, because they would understand. I get that, and I feel it. I probably would. But at the same time, it's like, why do we let them get to that point though? At some point, I'm sure we're going to institute limits. Because you need to be, 70. Like you can still get paid. I feel like our most senior folks should be getting paid to be advisors, mentors, guidance counselors, and educators of the next generation. That could be a consultant where they can still, these folks have a lifelong pension for their service to these different positions, Congress, Senate, and stuff like that. So they already get money. They good. I
don't think it's based on the money.
Oh man, it gotta be something.
It's the power.
Yeah, well, power. There you go. And that's what I'm saying, Jen. Look, the baby boomers got that power and they ain't trying to let it go.
You just said it, that it has to be something that you accumulate. And what's amazing to me is, how come we can't find younger people to run for president? And I'm saying,
So you gotta be 40, what?
You gotta be 40.
Was it 36?
I think 32 or 30. You gotta be.
You gotta look it up.
Yeah. No, because I think the youngest was like Kennedy or something.
But nah, because young people not unless this young person is worth $100 million, they're not gonna run because it's too much money. That's a lot of money to run for president.
But you can have people that want to back you.
Nah, nobody. That's not how society works.
But let's be real about it.
No.
Let's not say 30. Let's say 45, 40.
Society don't even work like that. People that you 40, most people feel like you ain't even had enough life experience to be a president. And then you talking about, now I feel like you could get there. There was a young kid that was, I think 20-something-year-old mayor of one of the, in Michigan.
He was younger than that.
Yeah, right. But that's because his family was already involved in politics, so he was being reared into it. So when he got there, he had name recognition and community service work.
It wasn't a black kid.
It was black kids.
Yeah, this kid was like 19 or something.
Right, there you go. And people and so yes, if you on a trajectory to be president, that means you're gonna have to year over year, office after office, build up to that position. And people gonna have to be like, oh damn, you got a track record. Otherwise, some random 40-odd-year-old that said they want to run for president, no chance.
How old was Obama when he ran? 40 something?
Yeah, he was 40-something, but he was a senator though. You know, he had already state claim, and people love the way he talks, and he was building them.
You got young people in those positions, senators and reps and things like that.
Yeah, we do.
That's what I'm saying. How come they don't even get an opportunity to put their name in that, you know, or do they take that out?
You gotta kiss the ring.
I don't think I think it goes back to they gotta wait for time. It's all about
That's what it is.
But look up Kennedy. Kennedy
He was 47.
Kennedy was 40?
No, President Obama was
Obama.
47.
Right. He was under 50, I remember that. Because he was 44, right? Yeah.
47.
No, he was 44th president. See?
The 44th president.
Right. And I knew it was close to his age. Then he was, 44. But Kennedy was in his 30s, if I'm not mistaken. When he was president, if not one of the first.
Yeah, but now didn't he have the name recognition and familial lineage?
No, I think he's
35 years old to be a president.
Okay.
Dang, all right, y'all. If y'all want to get behind me, I'll run for president.
Drop.
Yeah, they need a president with some locks. That'd be cool. You know, a couple piercings and stuff like that.
Why not? We got Mayor with what he doing? He got the
We got the Mohawk.
Yeah. Somebody called me about that. They was like, "Steve, what do you do with his head?" I'm like,
I was out yesterday. Somebody was saying, they was like, man, you know what? I knew we was doomed. We had one guy look like he say the N-word around his friends all the time, and then we had another one look like a space cadet. I said, what y'all alone, man?
But you know what, y'all talking about president, we need to first work on our local elected officials.
That's a fact, though.
Because I am just saddened by this whole police thing that everybody backed at except one state rep. It's just so much that they're not even looking to their constituents or asking constituents what they want. And these are the people that we're electing right here at home.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's just so sad. It's just so sad.
Yeah, I ain't seen or heard one survey that actually I felt about it. Shit, I even though now that it passed, I ain't heard nobody say what y'all think about it. Hell, I ain't seen nobody come try to educate us on what it actually is.
right.
It hasn't been anybody. And the sad part about it is we keep reelecting these same damn people. That's the sad part about it. That we continue to re-elect the same people who's not doing anything for us. And then what do? We get on a phone call and complain about it, but we don't take action and do anything about it.
Yeah.
That's a amen. That's a amen to that one from me.
Yeah, I think I think what it is, people looking for somebody that's been tried and proven, that's coming out of the ranks of where they're at. You know, people looking for somebody that they look to the left and they look to the right and they say, man, that person's been out there and they've been doing this, and this, and they've got no recognition. I want that person to represent me.
You know, but see, that thing would be crazy because, you know, even when I was considering running for the 29th Ward Alderman, you know, I couldn't do it because of all the busyness I had going on. I remember you was telling me somebody, an older female community member was like, well, what kind of corporate experience does he have? What are you talking about? Why does that matter? I'm not saying that it don't matter that, you know, first of all, I am. Why does it matter if I have corporate experience when this is a community-led position in which you're looking for people to lead the community? And that's what I was doing. I was organizing, I was leading the community in a positive direction. And I'm from this community as a young Black man that wants it to be positive. What does my corporate experience, albeit I was supervising for several years and worked in many Fortune 500 companies, lower level positions, mind you, but still had that experience. What did that matter? And that's the type of stuff that keeps young people away from politics and or excelling and trying to make the next step, because it's like those crazy ass questions. What did that matter exactly when it comes to running for political office?
And I think that question has a lot to do with how can you run a business, and you can.
But you know what? If I was 50 years old, that wouldn't have been asked though, because we continue to elect these aldermen that don't even know how to balance a budget, yet alone run a business. Ain't never had their own business, and probably ain't never had any real role in terms of leading something or someone or people in any type of direction yet, because they have a good enough team and or people willing to give them money. Like that's all you know.
That's the key. That's crazy. That's the key behind it. You gotta have a good enough team.
But we need to look at stuff. For me, anybody who backed Paul Vallis is not a vote for me. Anybody who was not out here when that flood first happened, they're not for me. It should not have taken for us to get on the phone and complain, and then we get some elected officials out here. Those people won't get my vote. One thing about me is I don't forget. When I never forget how you made me feel. And when they weren't out here trying to work for me when that flood happened, I won't be voting for them when the election comes. Now they came out afterwards, sure they did. But who came out before? Berwyn's mayor and all those people was trying to get things done. But we had to get on a phone call and complain. And then you get Danny Davis, you get Emma Mitz, you get those people. Damn it, come right after the problem happened. Come see about your people. Don't wait till the battle has started to come and see about your people. That ain't fair.
But I think they are fighting against each other, these aldermen. Because I think when this flood came, these aldermen should have been together. 37, 29, 28, 24, all those aldermen should have been right with Congressman Davis up in Washington. If they wanted to help their people, they should have been shoulder to shoulder up in Washington, making sure that our people is taken care of.
He didn't go to Washington until after we complained, Ms. Jacobs. He wasn't there before. He went afterwards. So none of them was fighting for us until we started saying something. That shouldn't be. That should not be.
They still, I don't see nothing that they bringing to us now. That still like we still haven't got nothing.
Now that I must agree with. But Danny Davis and Emma Mitz came out like they the all hold to end all. But still, nobody. Let me tell you all why I'm so damn frustrated. Last year in October, my furnace went out. We got a furnace and a central air conditioning from Four Seasons. Doing that now, and I financed it. During that damn flood, my furnace went out, so the air conditioning didn't work. And guess what? It ain't covered because it's flood damage. So before the winter, I gotta have another damn furnace put in my house and continue to pay for the one I've been paying for.
Yeah.
I wanted to cuss, but damn these people. I don't give a damn if they never get reelected again, because they don't fight for me, and I have a damn sign standing on the side of the road saying, don't vote for them.
This is why it's important that we build numbers. Because if one person screaming and another person screaming, that's just two people screaming. We have to be able to organize, build those numbers, and show that we are a force. That's it, that's all.
But Steve, it's taking too long. It's taking too long.
I totally agree.
Oh, Angelica called me last week and gave me the name of a lawyer who's trying to start a class action lawsuit against the city. Have you
Yeah.
guys heard anything about that?
Yeah, I got a email about it also.
Yeah, Roman Marrow
Well-
was actually on her show about that.
A class action suit takes forever. We talking about what's happening now. We want something done now.
Well, not only that, the lawyers get richer. We don't get richer. They get richer.
Right, but I'm saying it still take them forever with a class action suit.
Well,
We need some action now. We don't need this later down next 3 months or 6 months. We need some action now.
right, 'cause the time and the weather's about to change, so we definitely do. But I do believe that FEMA's gonna come through. To what degree, I'm not sure,
But nobody's telling us nothing. We just in the dark.
because right now they're saying that it was pitched back over to the governor so that he has to supply some numbers, which I'm like, what's the point? Go ahead and cut the checks. Cut the checks to get people whole again, so they can move on and be beyond it. And then, while you're cutting the checks to make people whole, get something to supply them with a means so this won't happen to them again. Put a backflow valve in their property so that they won't have the water backing back into their properties. Remove gutters from their downspouts so that they can go out to the streets. Do all the things for them so they won't have this problem where they have to replace their furnaces and all their belongings in their basement. That's an easy fix. It's been done before.
Well, what is these aldermen, they having meetings every week or every whatever? Are they talking about this as far as the how to stop the flooding? Is that what they're having at the meeting?
I tell you, I don't know what these officers are doing. Last time I talked to Emma, she was still saying that she was the closest one to FEMA that gave the information about FEMA. They're in the ground, they're getting ready to set up. I'm like, well, where are they setting up? We don't know. I ain't heard about that part yet. Then the last I heard was again, Joe Biden was talked to, FEMA was talked to, and Joe Biden and FEMA was waiting on some numbers from Principal. So, it sounds like everything is in line. I just don't know, how long it would take for somebody to get everybody whole again, because this is what's gonna happen. Once you get the check, now you gotta find somebody to come in and fix it. Guess what's gonna happen? All those contractors gonna be busy. Busy.
Well, is there someplace we can go to contact and see what FEMA is doing or what's going on? Can we go online onto the site?
I don't know. Possibly, I make a call. That's what I do. But I'm sure you can call your elected officials and ask them also. But that's what I do. I'm just like, hey, where is that? What are we doing?
Okay.
I talked to not an alderman or anybody else this week. It's just been a lot of people calling about the mayor. And I'm like, got to give them a chance. That's it, that's all. Yeah, it's a challenge. We dealing with a big challenge here. I myself, it just makes me wonder, what are we going to do? And again, the only thing that we can do as people, we have to organize together. We got to have the numbers. You know, we have the numbers. And I get it, you know, people don't want to vote for anybody else, but make a vote for yourself. And build, you know, build a team of 10 people that you can count on. That's all.
Come here, Moreno.
Ella get 10 people. Tiny get 10 people. Yonder get, you know, man, we could count on 10 people. I don't even want to say 10. That's a big number to answer, but let's just say 5. Can you get your 5? Like they say with the phone thing, you're fab 5. If you can get your fab 5, then you know, we can make things happen. But, you know, it's a conundrum, as they say. And the only thing that's coming out of it is people that ain't got nothing to do with nothing out there hollering about stuff. Look, somebody told me, what's the girl name? P-Ray. They seen P-Ray and they feel like, P-Ray, you a celebrity. I'm like, I guess she is. With the people that listen to her. You know. We gotta stay a little focused though. You know. We got so much coming down on us. I get it. Just I could go on and on with the list of things that I hear on the daily, but they do come right back to what are we getting? You know, what are we getting right here under our feet, in our community? I was gonna ask somebody, because I didn't make it to National Night Out. Did any of you guys make it to National Night Out this year?
I went to all of them, man. 11, 15, and 25.
You should be the mayor then.
Man,
You did the mayor didn't make it to 1.
you know, I be moving around, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here.
That's
It was good though. I like obviously you in different districts, different demographics. Each one has it was just like yesterday and going to the different block clubs, and like one of the block clubs I went to, they had the little orb blaster. That was I only seen, you know, that one. Then the other one I went to, you had the 40 and up jump rope dancers.
what's the orb blast?
So it's like a gun. So you put the little pellets, you put them in water, and then they expand. And then you put them inside the gun, and then you just start shooting. And they had it. It was like a carnival game. The thing would light up, and they had to shoot at the different. So that was pretty cool that the kids was playing with that. And then you had the one with the jump rope dancers. And so it's different attractions at this one.
25 at Bloom in Armstrong Park?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I went to 11, 15, 25, but I was just saying, like, so that was with the different block club parties, but with the National Night Out, they were all different too. At 25, I would say they had the largest, so, you know, they were at Amundsen Park, so they had a ton of resources. I mean, they were giving out comforters or something. Like, they were giving out a lot of stuff. They were giving stuff away.
At 25?
Oh yeah, they were giving a lot of stuff away. They had, you know, like I say, a bunch of vendors. They had a bunch of different food. You know, they wide range of varieties of food up there too, man. 15. You know, they didn't have as many vendors, but they had more stuff that were kid oriented. The baseball game, championship game was going on down there. They were giving away food from Amazon. So it was like a box. They had a box of fruit and vegetables and frozen products. And then 11, they had a bunch of vendors circled around the outside. And they had, theirs was more, felt like a barbecue. They had like, so I mean, they were all different, man, different tastes and everything, but they were all nice. I enjoyed all of them. I went to.
That's good.
Yeah, it was good though. Real good time.
To make that. I usually go to them every year. I've been going over 20 years to them, or at least they're only doing
40 years. 40 years.
I actually hate I missed it. I just got back today from Mississippi, but I heard that 15 was very nice, and I heard that 10 was really good as well. So I was really surprised, but happy
Yeah.
that it was, a nice turnout. But
Right.
DeAndre, I know you mentioned the baseball games. I have often said we need something for the kids who are asthmatic who can't play baseball. We need something other than baseball and football for these kids. But everything is a sport, something or something. Everybody can't run behind a ball. And why do we forget about those poor kids? We have to make it inclusive. I don't know.
Well, they do, they doing, archery at 15. I think they were doing.
Yeah, no, they did. No, I didn't see the archery. I love archery, by the way. I know they was out south. One of my colleagues that sent in pictures from them out south doing archery out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that. I think I do know that 15 does archery.
Right, right.
So
Brother Raheem, how you been?
Hey, what's going on, good people?
All right.
you.
Man, how you been? Everybody good on your end?
Oh yeah, everybody's doing well. Thank you for asking.
And I heard the house in Austin took in water too. I saw it in the paper,
Yeah.
actually.
Say it again.
The house in Austin took in a lot of water.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I saw it in the paper. I was knocked out right here when Barry texted me and say, "Here you go." I'm like, I woke up after I fell asleep early, man. But I missed your show.
Rayla, bring your phone.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, there's no pressure, man. Jump on when you can.
We're gonna get it right. Tight.
Man, y'all see this video with the white folks trying to jump on that black man?
Yeah, I saw that.
Man,
Nah.
I just watched the little one with the black man came in with the chair, man. The man made me think about wrestling. Boy,
No,
he went,
when he hit the lady that was on the ground in the head, I mean it's bogus, but if you see the video, it is kind of funny. It is like wrestling or something.
It's not just what you're saying.
oh my
What
God.
you say? The black man fighting with the white.
Yeah, nah, so black man security guard was asking a group of white people. They look young to middle age, and he was saying they had to move their boat so that another group could dock. And
Yeah.
apparently, you know, they
pedal.
no, not paddle boat. I think these
No, they weren't like.
they were on the paddle boat. Oh yeah.
They were waiting for a big paddle.
Right.
I mean, it was like it had tourists.
Right.
And they were just in a little,
Yeah.
cruise or whatever.
Yeah, man, they wanted to jump my man. So man, you had my boy, one of the black dudes jumped in the water and swam over. Oh man,
Jumped off the dock, right?
yeah, they ooh. And then I'm looking at the memes. They said this man coming out the water like Namor. I'm like, yo, what kind of I mean, you gotta keep your hands off people, man. They should never did.
The guy
was coming.
The guy asked him to move. He said the boat's coming in. People have to dock.
Them folks got wolves
And I'm
coming through them. They deserve that.
They just decided to jump the security guard, which wasn't a good idea.
Nah, man,
Not at all.
it wasn't.
But again, back to what we on is we gotta know how to get these numbers. That's what's important. We talk about re-electing the same people. Well, that's because the numbers ain't changing. It's the same people with the same mindset. And we don't know how to make that happen by getting more people involved. I guarantee you, every time there's an election, there's probably 30 to 40% of people that don't vote. And this is my question: why is it always the black vote? Every time I look up, we're looking at the black vote. Why are you looking at the black vote?
Yeah.
Why are we the
I think we also need to encourage people that don't want to go to the poll to do the vote by mail. At least you will be getting your vote in. It's the same people who get out the vote all the time. And I think maybe if people know that they can vote by mail, it might help with some of this election stuff, where our elections will make a difference.
Right. Yeah. My thing is, vote. Just vote. Somebody was saying, well, it's the younger people that they can sway the vote. I'm like, yeah, they could, but they don't vote. Just vote. I don't even care how you vote. Just vote.
Hey, what qualities should we look for in an elected official? What qualities should somebody that's running for office have to you all?
Well,
integrity.
What was that?
Integrity.
Integrity. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Transparency. And I think people that are running on what they won on 100 years ago, it's time for them to go. We need some, and I'm not gonna be like DeAndre and say young people, but we definitely need some new ideals. We need a better way to do things because the old way is not working anymore. I am 63 years old and I had a chance to run for office this last election, but it wasn't for me. Let somebody else come in with some blood and try to change this thing around because we're drowning here. We're drowning.
Yeah, we are. I mean, I want to say, I would like to, I like a track record. You don't have to be, obviously, because if it's your first time, you wouldn't have anything, but I would like to know where your service lies with your community, like the things that you were involved in, having, being able to connect with you with, wherever you stand on the issues are important to me too. So, I got to know that you've been an advocate in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah.
And do you just start and stop? Do you start a project and then just stop and move on to the next thing? We don't need anybody like that.
Right. Like I ain't trying to if I'm voting for you and I go back and it's like, oh yeah, 2 years ago I started doing nah, I can't, you ain't got enough. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a little history right there.
What? For me, it's not so much to do for me, but what have you done for other people? If I can sit back and many other people can verify that you've done the work, I'm good. I'll get in how I fit in. But if you can verify that person's done the work, or that person, hey, I'm good with it. It ain't always, everybody say politics is about self-interest. Yeah, it is. But for me, my self-interest is how did you affect the masses? How did you affect the people around me? Because there are more people around me than just me, So if I could sit back and say, man, that person did a lot for this person and that person and that one and that one, I'm good with it. I'm good. For the situation.
Yeah.
Certainly is a big.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, right here.
No, I was just gonna say so we named some of the things that we would find, I guess that would be appealing for an elected official to have. If we know somebody that fits that criteria, would it be possible for us to promote that person, to get that person into an office? You know what I mean? I heard DeAndre say earlier about running for president, right? But let's say he wanted to run for alderman or run for one of these seats. Could we do something? I'm not trying to put you on the spot, DeAndre. And you don't necessarily have to be that person, but if we know somebody that fits all of these criteria, why don't we think about doing that?
You know what, and Raheem, to piggyback on what you just said. I agree. And looking at DeAndre, Lord, when DeAndre tried to run for alderman before, I want to bust his head with a bat. But DeAndre has grown so much over the years. That would be a great candidate because he's out with the people. So that would be a great candidate for an alderman, somebody who's out working for the people. So yeah, I think you're right, Raheem. If we can get behind the right candidate for the people, then I think that's something we should do.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. For me, if politically speaking, I've always said that my destination is as a U.S. senator. I really want to write laws that improve lives, common sense laws. I don't know if all of them will get passed, but I really want to affect the community in a positive way. And sometimes that it has to be written. So that's where I would like to go in terms of as high as I'd like to go. Now, whatever happens after that, happens. But yeah, U.S. senator. So keep that in mind. But yeah, you know what? I like I said, I really wanted to run in the last election for alderman in 29, but with school and my child, it was a lot easier to move into this role. But for me, I definitely want to continue to ascend to higher office. So the more resources and connections I can make to continue, that's what I want to do. And higher offices matter for that. So that's for sure.
I mean, look at Barack Obama. He jettisoned from a state senator to a senator. And went to president for 2 terms at that.
Yeah.
It's possible. What I see in this country, I see a big shift in just the qualities of what people look for. Because all I'm hearing is, well, he's just like me and you. Right. I'm like, what does that mean? What does that really mean? He's just like me and you. Because a lot of times, if the person is just like me and you, why you ain't doing it? Because you know something ain't right with yourself. That's the reality. People quick to say that. He's just like me and you. But when you say, hey, can I leave you with this bag of money? Can you hold it? I can't promise you it'll all be there when I get ready to hand it back. I mean, come on. I think we lowered the bar a lot. We have really lowered the bar over the years. And we continue to do it. That's the sad part. But I think the reason, one of the reasons why I think the bar's been lowered, because people don't look at politics as the catch-all, be-all. People are like, man, I can make more money doing this on my own. Or, people look at making money and how they gonna keep money until they get to a certain level where it's like, ooh, I gotta figure out how to get to politicians, and do things. Speaking of which, the aldermen just gave themselves a raise.
Another one?
I mean, just recently.
Oh, okay.
This year.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, they doubled their salaries back in '89.
Yeah,
99. Right. 99.
I think the lowest one is like 141. That's cool.
They just boosted it up.
I think we need to get together and find a FEMA representative and ask some questions. When?
Right.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm just thinking that's a good person that we need to be able to find. That'll be good. I'll see maybe if I could track somebody down and bring them to the next gathering. I don't have anybody a connection, but I'll see if maybe I could find one.
I think that's a great idea, Ms. Jacobs.
Yeah.
Just get the win.
At least, if nothing else, ask them like, what is this process? What y'all waiting on? Like, because again, sometimes hearing a third party from your elected you know, if you hear it at all, you know, it always, it doesn't necessarily help. So, you know, going directly to the source, they say, you know, it kind of does. So, yeah.
Right. Believe me, people out here waiting, they waiting. I hear it every day. Where is the money? You know, just take care of these people, make them whole, that's all. Make them whole again. So, and then put some things in place that can prevent it from happening again.
Yeah.
You know, we want to keep talking about this like this.
Yeah.
But I tell you one thing, when it comes to people and their property, that's something that really riles them up, because I ain't seen nobody get riled up about voting. I ain't seen nobody get riled up about COVID. I ain't seen nobody get riled up about kids getting killed, people getting shot, none of that. As soon as, oh, wait a minute, my stuff got damaged. You know? Or was it just the idea that maybe a lot of people's stuff didn't get damaged and they were just trying to get something?
No, I think it was just, I think part of it too comes in the fact that, you know, most people heard that this was intentional. That part too. You know, when somebody tells you, oh yeah, well they reversed the river water and they made it come to the west side, that is very difficult to hear. Especially when you're like, okay, cool, I understand it flood. That's understandable. That's something that, you know, isn't a hard concept to grasp, because it's flooded before the last, you know, as Arnold was saying, you know, at least, 3 times in the last 20 years. But shit, when somebody say that they purposely flooded the west side and then it don't look good with the whole NASCAR thing, that's when it becomes a fever pitch. That's why people are upset more than anything, you know, and whether it's true or not, it's what is being,
What drove?
yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, and again, not to mention you losing your stuff. Like that matters. Your stuff matters.
And NASCAR have not paid the people that went to work down there, and they was in all that flood working down there and trying to get back home, and they still haven't paid them.
The people that was working at NASCAR haven't gotten paid?
Haven't got paid.
Oh, man.
They just donated some money to something the other day.
Well, but these people haven't got paid.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, we need to look into that too. But I did hear that, like for Lollapalooza, they ain't gonna get paid right away. It's gonna be a little wait for people working there also. But as I said, we have a compounded amount of issues that are going on. And I think the focus is we need to look at getting numbers. We gotta get numbers. We gotta come together. We gotta be able to count on people to get numbers. I think it happened with this flood. What? DeAndre, you said you couldn't even get down the street. You couldn't even, a mile away, you couldn't even get down to Vision.
Oh, that's like with Black, that's like with back up to Cicero.
We got numbers, so we need to know how to hold those numbers to show that we can work it out together.
I mean, part of it is when it comes time to vote, we gotta remind people, remember the flood. Remember that emotion you felt when your stuff was lost and they have no answers for you. Take that same energy into that booth and make a decision. And I'm sure you're gonna make the right one when you remind yourself of who was available for you when you needed help the most.
Right.
Shit, that's how you do it. All politics are emotional. Everybody that goes and registers a vote does it out of emotion. And the number one emotion that all politicians use is fear. If there isn't an opportunity to utilize fear, you're gonna utilize probably confusion. It's nothing else.
And
these are all psychological games when we're talking about politics. So all you gotta do is just remind people of that energy that they felt, that emotion they felt when their stuff was lost, and they're gonna end up doing what they need to do.
Right. Top hour.
Yeah. All right, y'all, so we're right at 8 o'clock. Y'all know how we like to do wrap up with going around the room and see everybody's final thoughts. So I'm gonna start with you, Tiny. All right, Ms. Bertha, I know Tiny probably get this together.
If we can try to work on contacting FEMA, I think that would be great.
That will do.
Yeah.
Ms. Jacobs?
I agree with Ms. Bertha. Faith and accountability. Let's move on it. Let's not talk about it. Let's be about it.
That's right. Barry? Ella?
Hey, y'all. Well, I'm just waiting on the FEMA to make their decision, and hopefully something will come out of it that's worth our while. I'm hoping they don't just give us $200 a piece or something. Still
Oh,
like
girl.
that.
That's a curse. Don't say that.
Oh God. Well,
Real.
No.
that's just how I feel, because that's what they do. They always give black people the short end of the stick.
I don't think that's gonna happen this time.
I hope not. But it's been a pleasure, guys.
All right.
All right, whose iPhone? Is that Kim?
She's the one there,
Is
gone.
that, okay, Raheem?
Yeah. Well, good show, great show as usual, guys. Does anybody have like the numbers on how many people were impacted on the west side by the flood, or like percentage of the west side that was impacted?
It was said that it was 25%
Hmm.
each.
Like how many households does that represent? Do you know?
Let's say 100,000. Let's just see. There are 100,000 households, so 25,000.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of.
A water.
What'd you say, Steve?
A lot of water.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. I was just thinking maybe like having those numbers are like, but I'm pretty sure they know. I'm pretty sure they know. Could kind of speed up the process, like presenting people with that information. But
Right.
yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah. Well, that was the whole hope behind, trying to get people to fill out 311 requests, was to be able to gauge and get the best number, and then use that but it was always about, hopefully, again, it's about the follow through on the side of FEMA, at this point. So,
Yeah.
like I said, we'll track somebody down that can hopefully let us know.
For sure.
Was it issued a state of emergency by the governor?
Yeah. I believe 2 were issued actually.
Everything's been issued other than the city.
The city was the only one that didn't do a state of emergency, unfortunately. Yep.
Well, yeah, I hope everything worked out for the best, man. It's crazy.
Thanks.
We have to.
All right, what you got, Steve?
Just want to make sure everybody's aware. What ability?
Okay, thank you.
This weekend, and then we got your event coming up, and what else coming up this week? I'm not sure. But yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming out. We had a good conversation. Let us know if there's some things that are important to you, like you did today, so we can get the people involved and get them out here to talk to y'all about these things.
Yeah.
Other than that,
I did hear Tiny. Tiny, was you still there?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was cut off. But people with money always think that telling poor people they're gonna give them money is enough. They tell you that they're gonna give it to you, get to build your hopes up, and then they don't do anything. So
Yeah.
I too hope that it won't be the case this time, but that's what usually happens. Keep
with
up the
you.
good work.
Yes, thanks, Tiny. And then Barry, were you still gone, Barry, or are you back?
Oh, I'm on. And would say if you want to stop the flood borders, get a wealth tax.
Wealth
One is-
tax?
What's that?
You said wealth tax?
Yep.
Oh,
A
what
wealth,
is that?
a wealth tax would convert Elon Musk and other billionaires into millionaires, and would free up the resources so we'd have what we need to take care of the furnaces and everything else.
Yeah, yeah.
That would, yeah.
That's true.
And
I also-
secondly, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Secondly, Superman's not coming. That was the theme you had a few weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
I think we got to do it ourselves and use every incident to build ourselves, to organize ourselves, and to, in small numbers, small teams, small groups of people, you and 2, 3, 4, 5 other people, but
Yeah.
many of those groups happening. And anticipate problems and take actions now.
Yeah. We gotta get, I mean, I will always, for me, it feels as if for a long time, the biggest challenge in the Black community has been organizing. So we really have to be a lot more organized. And like you said, we just gotta build people power, come together. We really can make it happen, but we gotta get together. We gotta love on each other more than we've been taught to hate each other.
Well, I think hating each other is great for the billionaires, but it's no good for us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because whether it's the left or the right or the immigrants or it's everybody's getting screwed.
Yeah, unless you make a lot of money, you figure out how to join the team.
Not a lot of money, a lot of money isn't enough because you're not going to be a billionaire because that's all locked up. And they're not entertaining more people in that club.
Yeah.
And I just want to say one other thing, which is that when I say organizing and no Superman's coming, I don't mean organizing just in a political sense. Organizing so we're helping each other to get things done, like protecting our basements and everything else we need to do.
I'm in agreement, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm saying organizing too, and to that point, when Black people have organized throughout any point in history, we've always come out a lot better than we have when we weren't at any point in history.
Well, and look at all the sports teams that have Black teams or mixed teams, whatever they are. When you get teamwork, it's just a whole different thing.
Yeah, I agree. All right. So the last thing I just want to say is that August 10th at 6 p.m. is our 3rd district council meeting. And we'll be at 4804 West Polk, which is New Home Baptist Church. And we are having Rebecca Cook from the Consent Decree Coalition. She's one of the lead organizers. Also, she's the second vice president of criminal justice with the Westside NAACP. She'll come and be our guest to talk a little bit more about the consent decree and how we got to where we are in policing, as well as touch a little bit on the reason why the district councils exist because of that consent decree. So, come on out if you can. We'll have a little snacks and things like that. And again, whatever comments you make are public record and they're tracked so that we can actually get policy changes made, whether new or existing, so they can improve public safety and police accountability for us all. And with that being stated, like I said, we do this thing from 6 to 8 every Sunday. We have various ways you can interact with the show. We got the Facebook, the Zoom, the YouTube. Just share the show, let people know what we're doing over here. If we got more people on, we can have many more ideas and more opportunities to organize around the things that matter to us all. So please share the show. Like I say in closing, we have multiple seats open. All we're trying to do is welcome y'all home. Thank y'all for allowing us to welcome you to Northwest Austin Council. Y'all have a good night.
Later, y'all. Appreciate it.
Good night, all.
Good night, all.
Good night.